Boy, you guys, you all. Any idea who's going to be coming up on stage here pretty soon? Who's that? One thing we do. We sing this song from Collective Soul called Shine. And the chorus of the song is, heaven let your light shine down. And those guys have some spiritual minds about them from time to time. And we're stealing that. We're taking a moment just for a touch of church before our next. We talk about reflecting on heaven let your light shine down. And to me, that pushed out a verse out of 2 Corinthians 4:18. That said, take your mind, take your eyes, focus on the things that are unseen, instead of focusing on the temporal of what we see. Reminding ourselves for a moment to step out of ourselves and put your eyes on spiritual things. And this song kind of sums that up, that we need heaven to let its light shine down. The clouds have all closed, disappeared. We have some blue skies tonight. It's kind of a good moment. Come on, let me hear you. Let me hear all of you out there. Come on, I'm not ready to go. Let me hear you, Cumberland, Washington. I'm not done yet. Let me hear you, Cumberland, Washington.
What's up, King County? How y'all doing tonight? Let me hear you make some noise. They told us we couldn't come to King County and get a crowd. Look at all these people. My name's Christopher Gergen. I'm Loren Culp's campaign manager. I came out to Washington State to make sure that Inslee's ass never goes back to Olympia. How many of you are with me tonight? I came here to send that guy packing. Didn't come to play with Inslee. No, we didn't. We didn't come to play with Sideshow Bob Ferguson neither. We came to get rid of the socialists and the Marxists and all the communists that are trying to take over our nation and take over our state. I wish somebody would help me tonight. They said you're just gonna sit silent. I don't hear silence tonight. I hear people that are ready to stand tall to be seen and speak loudly to be heard. To let the communists know, and the Antifa know, and the BLM know that you just can't roll into our state and burn down our forests and destroy our cities. My good God, we need to elect a governor that's gonna put these jackasses in jail. Are you with me tonight? Instead of playing with people and just kind of tickling at them. We need a governor that's gonna stand for law and order. Are you with me? Look at your neighbor, give him a high five and say, I'm here for freedom and liberty. You guys are awesome. Very good looking crowd. We've done about 50 of these shows. This is about the best looking crowd we've had. You guys are beautiful people. We had some ugly people and some other ones, but not you guys. You guys are great. I'm just kidding. Some of y'all are like, no, wait a minute, I've been to some other shows. You saying I'm ugly? In 2016, I was privileged to be on the president's staff. I worked for the president in 2016. How many of you love your president tonight? How many of you know we're going to send his ass back to the Oval Office to finish what we sent him to Washington, D.C. to do, and that's to drain the swamp. We're going to send Jesse Jensen back to Congress. We're going to make sure that Nancy Pelosi's old ass never gets the gavel back. Are you with me tonight? I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. Anybody else sick and tired of being sick and tired? You're sick and tired of sitting silent and sitting quiet, just like you're going to take it. It's been 35 years. 12,750 consecutive days. That's a long time. 12,750 consecutive days of Democrats telling you what you can do and what you can't do. 12,750 consecutive days of them trying to meddle with our children and meddle with our businesses. 12,750 consecutive days of them trying to sexualize our children. Anybody tired of that? I tell you what, I've got 2 daughters. You try to sexualize one of the 2 of them, you're liable to leave with a couple holes you weren't born with. Let me tell you that right now. You see, we're looking for some people in the Culp campaign that are willing to stand tall to be seen and speak loudly to be heard, to let the left know that you're not going to take our families, you're not going to take our children, you're not going to take our businesses, you're not going to take our communities, you're not going to take our state. That's right. Some of y'all are staring at me like a cow at a new gate. You don't really know what to make of me. You ain't never been to what the hell is this guy talking about?
I think you're a badass, Christopher.
Anybody ever been to a political rally like this before? I bet you haven't. I said I bet you haven't ever been to a political rally. Anybody having fun tonight? In 2016, when we elected Donald Trump President of the United States, we didn't win the war. How many of you know there's a war going on for the soul of our nation? In 2016, we didn't win that war. No, we didn't. All we did was buy ourselves a little time. We gave ourselves a little bit of space. And in that space, we've changed the direction of a nation. We've changed the complexion of our court system. Now all of a sudden the 9th district isn't as liberal as it used to be. Now it's actually kind of conservative. Donald Trump has put more conservative judges in place than any president before him. And there you go. You can clap at that. In 2016, we didn't win that war. No, we didn't. We gave ourselves a little bit of space. We gave ourselves a little bit of time. We bought ourselves an opportunity. And I want to tell you that in 2020, we have that same type of opportunity here in Washington State. You see, we can buy ourselves some time. Electing Loren Culp isn't going to win the war. No, it's not. But what it's going to do is it's going to buy ourselves a little bit of time. It's going to give us a space of opportunity where we can begin to change the direction of this state and begin to give the power back to we the people. How many we the people do we have here tonight? You see, it's you people that have the power. It's you people that make the decisions. Sick and tired of tyrants sitting in state capitals all over the nation trying to dictate and play little dictator. We don't need any more Napoleons running around in the world. There's already enough people trying to take over the world. We don't need another one here in Olympia. What we need to do is we need to send somebody to Olympia that's going to be accountable to the people. Someone that's going to follow the Constitution as it was written and as it was meant. That's right. Vote. Let him know. Let Inslee know. We're going to send Loren Culp to Olympia on November 3rd. Yes, we are. I didn't come to lose. I hate losing. Anybody hate losing? Losing sucks. Anybody that's like, well, I lost. That person isn't worth anything. All we do is win. All we do is win around here. That's all we do. We get up in the morning and we win. We have some breakfast. It's a winner's breakfast. Absolutely. We have us some Wheaties. That used to be the breakfast of champions, right? That's what we eat around here. Then we have lunch and we win some more. And then we get out on the trail and we win some more. You see, this campaign has done things differently. How many of you know there's never been a governor's campaign like the one that you're in right now? Never been another one. You see, if you're gonna win, if you're gonna break the pattern, you gotta do something different than what's been done before, right? You gotta do something different. And this campaign, what started as just 100 people out in the middle of nowhere. Anybody ever been to Republic, Washington? It's the kind of place, Republic is the kind of place that either you're going there or damn it, you are lost, right? You know what I mean? It's not like you don't just drive through and be like, oh yeah, there goes Republic. No, it's like, Sally, are we lost? I have no idea where we are right. Oh, there went Bigfoot. Oh my God. That's where Republic is. This little campaign started off as just a few people, onesies and twosies. It was literally me and Lauren, a few other people out in the cold. Oh, I hate the cold. I live in New Orleans. It ain't cold down there. It's cold up here. It gets below 50 degrees. I swear to God, it's gonna snow. And we're out there in the cold in the wintertime, doing 20 people, 30 people, then 30 grew to 60, 60 grew to 100, 100 grew to 200, 200 grew to 400. Then we started doing rallies that were big. We had one rally, had almost 2,000 people. We come out here to this little town all the way out here in King County. I mean, you know, we got probably 600-800 people here tonight because there's some people in King County. They said you can't draw a crowd in King County. Well, guess what? We can draw a crowd in King County. We're going to be down. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's right. We're going to be down in downtown Bellevue coming up. I said downtown Is this on? Downtown Bellevue. And you know what? I don't care if it upsets Antifa. Go ahead and bring them out. I don't give a crap. Don't care. Don't care. Don't care what Antifa has to say. Don't care what Jay Inslee has to say. They said you can't do it. Fine, we'll have a protest. Screw you, Jay Inslee. We're going to do what we want. Tired of being inside, tired of having your business shut down, tired of being homeless, tired of being broke. Anybody with me? How many of you are ready to go back to work? How many of you are ready to open your businesses back up? But you know what? Loren can't do this alone. No, he can't. Loren can't do this thing alone. He needs help. He needs you, and he needs you people. He needs you back there, all in the back. You people back there that are a little bit drunk, he needs you. He needs you. Are you with me? That's a beer garden back there. He needs you. He needs you. I don't know what you believe. I can't speak for you. I can just speak for me. And I believe that together, working together, we can bring common sense back to Olympia, and we can lead Washington's comeback. That's what I believe. I don't know what you believe, but what I believe that together we're going to lead Washington's comeback. We're going to send common sense back to Olympia, and we're going to send Loren Culp into the governor's mansion. Help me welcome the next governor of Washington State, Mr. Loren Culp.
Common ground. Those guys rock or what? Man. Are you guys ready to kick Jay Inslee out of office in November? We're gonna do it. It is happening. Tell you what, we are campaigning our behinds off. We went from Vancouver earlier today to Port Angeles. There were 1,235 people at a rally in Port Angeles. And then we went to Olympia and had another meet and greet there, and now we are here rallying people to kick his ass out of office. It's happening. It is happening. You know, not only conservatives, Every meet and greet, every rally that we have, there are people coming up to me and saying that they are lifelong Democrats, never thought about voting for a Republican, but they are this time. They're sick and tired of what the far left is doing to our state, and that includes Jay Inslee. Unbelievable. How many people have been to a Culp campaign rally before? All right, so we have some new people. Well, I will tell you a little bit about me, where I come from, why I'm running, and we can talk about a few issues. Does that sound good? All right. Well, I love this state. I grew up in Washington State. I grew up in Chimacum, Washington, right outside of Port Townsend in Jefferson County. I went to grade school, junior high, and my freshman year of high school there. My dad was a deputy sheriff for Jefferson County, and my mom worked at the post office. I've got 3 brothers, and in my freshman year of high school, my dad got out of law enforcement, and we moved to the town of Republic, Washington. Has anybody been there? Perfect. It's a small little mountain town in the northeastern corner of Washington State, right up against the Canadian border, about 15 minutes away. And that's where I went to high school. That's where I met my high school sweetheart, Barb. And we've been married for 43 years this year. That's commitment, right? 43 years, and she deserves all the credit. I don't know how she put up with me for so long. But 43 years, we've got 2 grown sons and 7 grandkids that live right down by Olympia. At the age of 19, I joined the United States Army. Do we have any veterans or active duty with us? Yes. Thank you for your service. Give them a hand. Thank you, veterans. Our first responders and our military will be honored when I am governor every single day. I proudly served in the world-famous 101st Airborne Division, and I went through drill sergeant school at Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri, where I helped to turn civilians into soldiers. And I was a combat engineer. For those of you that don't know what a combat engineer does, we blow things up. And we are going to blow up this election in November and kick Jay Inslee's ass out of office. Yes, we are. We the people. Not we the sheeple. We the people. I served overseas in Korea for a year, and after 4 years of serving under one of the greatest presidents of my lifetime, President Ronald Reagan, yes, Barbara and I decided to leave the military life, and we moved, guess where? Back to Washington State, where we live and where we love, right? We moved to the Olympia area, and I went to work for other people, learning the trades, learning the building trades. I learned how to frame houses and do concrete foundations and driveways, and working for other people for about 4 years. And then in 1988, I started my own construction business, working right out of Olympia. And just to let you know where I come from, I started out with a 1977 Datsun pickup truck that I bought from my grandpa for $600 on payments. Yes, I was very, very wealthy. I had 1 employee, but I was free, right? I was building a business. I was realizing my American dream, working for myself, raising our family. And I built that business up and ran it for about 20, 21 years. And I built that up to where I had multiple trucks, multiple crews doing jobs all around Puget Sound. And when I was younger, like I said, my dad was a deputy sheriff for Jefferson County. And I had a lot of respect for him and what he did and his friends who were in law enforcement. And my childhood dream was to be a police officer. So in 2010, after running my business for over 20 years, a job opening came open in the city of Republic, where I met Barb, where I went to high school, where she lived her entire life. And I decided at the age of 49 that I was going to apply for that job and realize my childhood dream. Because if I didn't do it then, I'd be too old, right? And Barb kind of looked at me like, well, you're a little bit too old already. But I got it. I went through the police academy with a class that was about half my age. And a lot of them called me Grandpa. But I became a police officer, realized my childhood dream. And I've been a patrol officer. I've been the sergeant for the force. I've been a canine handler for the last 6 years.
Thank you.
And I'm currently the chief of police in Republic. It's very rewarding work, protecting good people and putting criminals in jail where they belong. A series of events started happening in my life back in 2018. Not by my planning, not by my design, they just started happening. You remember that anti-gun initiative 1639 that passed? Right, yeah, exactly. It made it against the law for military-age young adults, 18 to 21, they could not buy a semi-automatic rifle, even a 10-22 Plinker rifle that most people learn how to shoot with. I knew that it was unconstitutional. I knew that it was a violation of their rights. And I had taken an oath of office to uphold and defend the Constitution. And I also knew, because my parents were very patriotic when I was growing up, they taught us about the Constitution. They taught us about our duty as citizens and the role of public servants. Article 1, Section 1 of the Washington State Constitution says that the power is inherent in the people and government is there to protect citizens' rights. It is the duty of our public servants to stand up for citizens' rights. They raise their right hand and swear an oath to do that. Article 1, Section 1 is the first thing that the founders of Washington State decided to write in the rule book for our government, right? The power is inherent in the people and government is there to protect citizens' rights. That's very powerful. Don't you wish that our elected public servants would follow their oath of office? Add to that Article 1, Section 24 of the Washington State Constitution, which is even more explicit than the Second Amendment. It says that the right of the individual citizen to bear arms in defense of himself or the state shall not be impaired. So having those in mind, I was asked by citizens the day after 1639 passed if I was going to start arresting 18 to 21-year-olds who I saw with a semi-automatic rifle. I said no. My stance for that got me on the national news. It should not have, right? That should be something that all public servants do, is stand up for citizens' rights and don't back down. But they do it so often that it's an anomaly when one public servant stands up. I was the first. There was a couple others at first, but pretty much it was crickets, right? A lot of people, I don't know whether they didn't understand what their oath meant or the Constitution or both. I don't know. But I was interviewed on Fox and Friends. I was interviewed on Tucker Carlson's show. Yeah, love Tucker, right? Absolutely. Talking about our rights and responsibilities and the duty of public servants. And that led me to writing a book called American Cop. And I wrote that book in December of 2018, and it was published on President's Day of 2019, and it shot to #1 on Amazon in multiple categories. And it was there for weeks. That led me to being invited around the state to Republican Party Lincoln Day dinners as a speaker and to gun shows and sportsman shows all over Washington State. Every weekend through the spring and summer, I was traveling somewhere speaking to citizens groups about our rights and responsibilities and that we need to stand up for our rights. As it went into the spring, more and more people were coming out to hear me speak. More and more people had read American Cop, and more people were asking me the same thing. will you please run for governor? We need someone to kick Jay Inslee out of office and protect citizens' rights. And I don't know about you guys, but that wasn't my childhood dream, right? I didn't run around as a child or a young adult thinking, man, someday I can't wait to be a politician. But as those voices got louder into the summer of 2019, I looked around. I didn't see anybody that I could trust that was running or anybody on the horizon that I could trust to stand up for citizens' rights the way that I did back in 2018. So I had a talk with Barb, and we talked about our 2 grown sons and our 7 grandkids that live in this state. And if I didn't jump in with both feet and help to turn this state around, I would regret it for the rest of my life. And I don't live with the regret. You guys are awesome. So in July of 2019, yeah, we've been campaigning for about 14 months now. In July of 2019, I had a press conference in the City Park of Republic, and about 120 people came out to hear me speak. And I announced that I was running for governor. And it has been like riding a rocket ship ever since. It's absolutely phenomenal. And it's all because of we the people. I didn't run around seeking big name endorsements. I didn't run around talking to the establishment. I wanted to speak to we the people because that's who I am.
Thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely. Military veteran, ran my own business for over 20 years and been in law enforcement for 10. I've got a different perspective on things than a career politician, wouldn't you think? The way our current government is handling things is absolutely pathetic. I don't have to tell you that, right? Is anybody happy with the way things were handled in Seattle during the riots? Absolutely pathetic. You know, we all have a First Amendment right to speak our mind, peaceably assemble, go to the church of our choice, right? That's guaranteed to us by the First Amendment. We are exercising our First Amendment right now. Doesn't it feel great? If you read the Declaration of Independence, our rights come from our Creator, and government is there to protect our rights. And it's far past time that we stand up and let our voice be heard and stand up for our God-given rights. Are you with me? So, we all have a First Amendment right. Peaceably assemble. Protesting, absolutely. Yes, that's allowed, right? But when it turns to people looting stores, lighting buildings and cars on fire, throwing rocks and frozen water bottles at our police officers, that's no longer a First Amendment right. That's a crime. It's called a riot. When things got out of hand and the local law enforcement and state patrol asked for the National Guard, the commander-in-chief of the Washington State National Guard is the governor, even though he's not spent a day in the military in his life. He sent in the National Guard at their request. But what did he do first? He disarmed them. He sent our young men and women into a violent situation without the means to protect themselves or other people. And then they pulled everybody out and started negotiating. Right? There's people that live there. There's people that own businesses there, people that work there. They were absolutely being terrorized. Murders were committed, rapes, arson, assault. People in there were being terrorized. The United States government does not negotiate with foreign terrorists, and the Washington State government should never negotiate with domestic terrorists either. citizens of Washington State deserve law and order, and I will be the law and order governor. You guys are awesome. Thank you. You know, these aren't the first riots that we've had, right? We've had riots before. We're going to have riots in the future, I'm sure. When I'm governor and things start getting violent like they did, I will have the National Guard spun up in states close to where the violence is happening. You haven't even heard the good part yet. And they will have the means to protect themselves and other people. And when the local law enforcement and the state patrol call for backup, they will be there within minutes, not hours and days like with Jay Inslee. And they will arrest the criminals and put them in jail where they belong. That's how you deal with a violent situation. You do not negotiate. Criminals go to jail. Period. Law and order. So, since we're on the subject of how screwed up our government is, how about this virus, right? How about the way that was handled? You know, the current office holder decided he's going to pick winners and losers. He's going to decide who can go to work and who can't, right? Who has to stay home. He issued his stay home and go broke order. But he decided who's going to work and who's not. You know, if you own a pot store, an abortion clinic, or a big box store, you could go to work. But if you had a church, a gun store, a mom and pop cafe, or a salon or barbershop, you had to shut down and go home. This is not the first virus that we've had, right? It has killed people. It is real, right? But about 0.2% of our population have died from this, and over 60% of them have been in nursing homes with pre-existing conditions. We need to protect the most vulnerable among us, right? But not lock everyone down and shut down the economy in this state. The federal government sent $29 per person in nursing homes for extra staff and extra equipment that was needed, right? Millions and millions of dollars, $29 per patient. And Jay Inslee said, no, we're not going to send the nursing homes $29 per patient. We're going to send them $5 per patient. Is that compassion? Is that caring about our citizens? Totally unacceptable. So this is not the first virus that's come around, right? Bird flu, swine flu, Ebola, we've had them, they come and they go. When the next virus comes around and I'm governor, I will have press conferences with the medical professionals to explain to everyone what's going on, what we should do to protect ourselves, our family, and our business, what might happen if we don't follow the medical advice, and as governor, make sure the supply chain is as open as possible for equipment that's needed, and then let free individual citizens decide what's best for themselves, their family, and their business. That's how you govern a free state. Jay Inslee is not our boss. He's not our nanny. He's not our mommy or our daddy. He's put into office to run the executive branch of the state government, not every aspect of our lives and our businesses and our families. As your next governor, I will have a firm grasp on the rule of law and the Constitution, which is the rule book for our government. It does not tell us what we can and can't do. It tells our government what it can and can't do. Remember, Article 1, Section 1 of the Washington State Constitution. The power is inherent in the people, and government is there to protect citizens' rights. Right? That's the role of our government. Not to dictate to us what we're going to do every single day. It doesn't say the power is inherent in the people unless there's a virus. Right? It doesn't say that. And he says he's doing all of this because he cares about our health. Who cares more about your health? Jay Inslee or you? Exactly. This is the same governor who now says he cares about our health, that in February signed a bill into law that lowered the penalty for intentionally infecting someone with HIV. Right, they don't talk about that too much on the news, do they? I'm not talking accidentally infecting someone with HIV. I'm talking intentionally infecting another human being with HIV. He lowered the penalty from a felony to a misdemeanor. And he says he cares about our health. Unbelievable. So we are winning. Did I say that already? We are winning. Every rally we have, every meet and greet I do, Democrats are telling me they're done. They feel like the Democrat Party has taken a hard left turn, which it has, and just left them standing in the middle of the road. For the first time in their lives, they're voting for a Republican. And that is how we're going to take this state back. Every time you turn around, he's issuing a new order, right? We don't know from one day to the next what's going to happen. Right? Remember the 4 phases? Right? And then all of a sudden it was, well, 1.5, 2.5. What in the heck is this, right? He's acting like a referee in a football game that's throwing the flag and blowing the whistle on every play and changing the rules. Can you imagine that football game? Right? The refs are changing the rules on every play. Nobody would want to play that game, and damn sure nobody would want to watch it, right? Because it's complete mayhem and BS. And that's what Jay Inslee's doing to this state right now. Unacceptable. Having a firm grasp on the Constitution and the rule of law, and our government abiding by that, will return individual freedom and liberty back to the citizens of Washington State. And that's the way our founders intended it to be. Right? Well, here's another one for you. Article 1, Section 7. No citizen shall be disturbed in their private affairs. Have we been disturbed in our private affairs or what? It will end when I take the oath of office. You can't tell me that a barber shop can't operate safely without someone telling them what to do, but you can go to a big box store with 150 or 200 other people in it. Absolutely makes no sense. He's ruining small businesses all across this state. But it's not the first time that he's ruined small businesses across this state. Remember that vape fiasco last year? Right? The flavored vape. Remember, he shut down all the vape industry because he said they couldn't have flavored vape? He had a knee-jerk reaction to news reports. Come out a few months later that was totally false. Those were homemade concoctions that people were vaping with. I know a lot of people who have quit smoking tobacco, which is very dangerous, with vape, right? I did it myself. But he shut down that industry, and he doesn't care. Shut them down. Over half of the vape stores in this state went out of business. Those are small mom and pop outfits, just like all the rest of them that he shut down. He's got a history of doing this. Our government needs to abide by the Constitution and the rule of law and let us live our lives how we see fit, as long as we're not harming someone else. And the beautiful thing about the rule of law and the Constitution, when we have a governor that abides by it, when we have a government that stays within the confines of that Constitution, this is what's resonating across the political aisle. Because everyone is protected equally. It doesn't matter the color of your skin. It doesn't matter your age, your sex, your education, or your income. Everyone is protected equally under the law. And that's resonating all across the political spectrum, and that's why we are going to win.
Amen.
Yes, he does. So let's talk about education real quick, right? How about the sex ed bills? Anybody happy with that garbage? We need to reject that and vote it down in November. It's a bunch of crap. We need a new Secretary of Education as well. I am going to push for parental control of where children are educated. Government bureaucrats do not own our children. Parents are in charge of their children, not the state. And I want parents to have a choice where their children are going to be educated, whether that's private school, homeschool, public school. Parents need to have the choice, and the money should follow the child. That's going to bring competition to our education system, right? Just like any other business. If you have a business and you do what XYZ, and another business opens up down the street and does the same thing, you've got competition. You need to raise your standards, right? And if parents have the choice of where their children are going to be educated and the money follows the child, then competition is going to bring up the level of education in this state. And it's parents' choice. And we also need to bring back the trades to high school. Bring the trades back to high school, give our young adults a leg up. Walking right out of high school, the trades are screaming for employees all across this state. Right? They're good, high-paying, family wage jobs. Not everybody wants to go to college. Not everybody needs to go to college, and not everybody wants to have that debt for half their life. Right? We need, I'm not anti-college, right? But our young people need a choice. They need an advantage, and we can give that to them with the trades, right? We need college. We need doctors and nurses and a couple of attorneys.
That's right.
But giving our young people that choice will give them a leg up in their future, whether they go to college or not. Teaching them a skill is very important, right? So I want to tell you a true story that happened in my life. Thank you. So this happened in my life many decades ago, actually. 59 years old, so I've been around for a few decades. But when I served in the United States military, I got orders to go overseas for a year. I had to go on a hardship tour to South Korea. I was married to Barb. We had a 3-year-old Nick and a 1.5-year-old Adam. but I had to leave them for a year and go to South Korea. And I served close to the DMZ, so that's why my family could not come. But there was a joint military exercise that happened every year in South Korea. It's called Team Spirit. And it involved every branch of the military from South Korea and every branch of the military from the U.S. forces. And we trained together all across the nation of South Korea. And I was in the Army, so we traveled around in jeeps and trucks, right, when we were going from one place to another in long convoys. And there, on the dirt roads around South Korea, there were little villages that dotted these roads. They were surrounded by rice paddies. And as the military convoy would get close to a village, all the people that lived in the village would come running up to the edge of the road to see the convoy go by. Young people, children, and adults both. And they would have big smiles on their faces as we went by. They'd be waving their hand, and in their other hand they would have small American flags waving as we went by. And it made me very, very proud to be an American, right? They didn't care what sex we were. They didn't care what color our skin was. They didn't care our income or our rank. They just cared that they were Americans in those vehicles. Part of the greatest nation in the history of the world. And we were there to protect them. And it made me very, very proud to be an American. And we need to remember that here at home. That it doesn't matter the color of your skin. It doesn't matter your sex or your age or your education or your income. We are all Americans. The left wants to divide us by those things. But we don't. We don't. We are all part of one family, and that is Americans. We need to remember that every single day. Don't let the left divide us by that. I need your help. Like Chris said, I can't do this alone. We need finances. We need everybody to tell their friends. Like our Facebook page. Share our content everywhere. We need to mobilize. We cannot have 35% voter turnout. We absolutely have a chance, and a huge chance, to take this state back. But this is not a spectator sport. We have to be active, and we can do it with God's help. I will be right over here. I'd love to meet all of you. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
Tomorrow all the things are gone. I've worked all my life, and I had to start again. Just my children and my wife. I thank my God above to be living here today, 'cause the flag still stands.